Welcome to Monday, listeners. I hope you had a lovely weekend.
A big sponsor shout out goes to Tatiana's School of Couture as she launches her online sewing workshops. Use the link on the Daily Series podcast to hop over to Tatiana's website and book in today.
It's ASG Monday, and today we welcome back the ASG Chair, Louise Sparrow. How are you, Louise?
I'm very well, Maria. Thank you.
That's good. I know you've been really busy for Guild members, so what would you like to tell our listeners and your Guild members today?
You're right, I have been busy. This lockdown is really keeping me on my toes. So what we've started to look at is ways that our members can still continue the learning process that they would normally get at their group meetings, but obviously now in isolation. And Zoom, of course, as most people probably are aware, is the flavor of the month. So how do we jump on that bandwagon and how do we make use of that? And I actually ran a little test workshop with the other board members about a week ago, and that worked really well. So the members are now going to be learning via Zoom. And our first workshop that we're scheduling is one on making bound buttonholes.
That's a good choice because that really needs a bit of practice, doesn't it?
It does. It's one that stumps a lot of sewists. And the method that they're going to learn is one that, although it still requires careful sewing and careful measuring, etc., it's almost foolproof. You almost always come up with a perfect bound buttonhole. You notice I say almost because I'm not going to make any absolute guarantees here, but we'll do our best.
The thing is, though, you said that it's foolproof. You've got me interested now.
Yeah, I've just blown it, haven't I? I said almost foolproof.
All right, I'll reel it back.
Okay, so the workshops, they are restricted in numbers because it is a hands-on workshop. It's not just showing you how to do it. You're actually going to be sitting next to your sewing machine and you're going to sew a bound buttonhole. And so to ensure that everybody gets airtime and question time, we're limiting the sessions. We're saying to only 12 people. I have to say right now, all the sessions are fully booked already. I started off with 2 sessions. And they filled up within about 3 hours of advertising. And so I put on 2 more and they also filled up. So, I'm telling you about it, but, you've already missed the boat. But don't panic because there are other workshops that are going to be happening as well. And also the buttonhole one is going to be recorded. So if you don't get to actually sit in on the live session, you will have the opportunity to watch the recorded one. And in some respects, I think the recorded one might even be a little bit better because you get the chance to pause and to rewind and to fast forward, which you don't get in a live session.
And the good part about being able to rewind is that you as the presenter say it in exactly the same way and everything is calm. Sorry, I'll just calm down now.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, they miss the interaction, being able to ask questions in real time, but hopefully if they can rewind 10 times, maybe they'll finally catch on. So that's what's happening. Starting the end of May, beginning of June, there's 4 sessions being run for the buttonhole.
So that's actually really good because you've tested running the workshop on Zoom with the board members and that's worked out. You've got some sessions that are already filled, but there'll be a recording. Mm-hmm. And so whether you're a Guild member or not, you should probably keep an eye out on the events page for when that video is available.
Yeah, well, the video will only be available for Guild members.
Right.
The workshop is free. This particular one is free for members, and non-members would have been charged a small fee, but they didn't get a chance to get in. But the videos we would only make free for members. So that's just an advantage of being a member of the Guild.
So ASG members are very lucky.
Exactly.
And anyone who wants to become a member, they can then access the videos or any other of the resources that you've got on the ASG website.
That's correct. As I said, there are going to be other workshops that are scheduled. So, even as a non-member, you can keep an eye on the website. So you would find those workshops listed on 2 separate pages. There's a calendar of events on the events page itself.
Yes.
Where they would be able to book in and register. There's also, under the All About Sewing menu, there's sew-alongs and online workshops page.
Yes.
And they will be listed on that page as well. So they could register from either page, wouldn't matter.
Yep.
So you keep an eye on it, see what's coming up. And if you're quick, and that's the case of the quick or the dead, you might just be able to get in.
Listeners, just so that you know, I've got my iPad open on the side here while Louise and I are chatting, and it's really easy to find the workshops, whether they're past sew-alongs or ones that are to come. So it's a pretty easy website to get around.
We're not hiding it.
Good to know. Is there anything else you want to give our listeners before we wrap it up for today?
I think that about covers the workshop.
And really, listeners, as we've said before, it's just fabric.
Yes. I'm not actually going to be making a garment. It's just a piece of scrap fabric. So, you can't go wrong.
That's right.
And I know I said it was almost foolproof, but should you make a mess of it, you'll be able to watch the video later on and try again.
That's right. Louise, thank you so much for coming on the daily series on Sew Organised Style. ASG has Mondays, and we really appreciate the fact that you do come on and give our listeners an update of what's happening within the Australian Sewing Guild.
My absolute pleasure.
Have a nice day, listeners.